Hi, welcome, and thanks for tuning in to our Braun-Bostich and Associates YouTube channel. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about life insurance. There are two main types of life insurance. So there's term and permanent coverage. Permanent insurance covers you for your entire life, while term insurance covers you for a specific term. So maybe that's 10 years, 15, 20, whatever you choose at the time. Typically, term insurance is a good bit less expensive than permanent insurance because what happens is at the end of that term, your death benefit is no longer available to your beneficiaries if you pass away. So if you chose a policy for, let's say, $500,000 for 20 years, you pay the premium associated with that amount of life insurance for those 20 years. But if you pass away after the 20-year period, the death benefit's no longer available to you. Typically, the higher the death benefit and the longer the term, then the higher the associated premium will be for that level of coverage. There are other factors besides the amount of death benefit and the term that can impact the premium, and those would be things like your health, your smoking status, your age, your gender. All those things play into what the final premium will be. So, what you want to consider when you realize that if you had purchased term and the time for expiration is nearing is what to do at that point. You really want to consider, do you still need the insurance? So that's the main thing. And if you do, you might want to look at converting the term policy into permanent insurance, which is an option. Again, with permanent insurance, the premium is higher. So you may be looking at increased costs or a bigger impact on your cash flow. And if you don't need the coverage, you can just let the term policy expire. Usually people purchase term insurance just for having that coverage for the specific time period and also when they're younger because they don't have the income to support the ongoing premiums. Maybe you buy it to protect for your children or to provide for education and your spouse, to pay off the mortgage or any other debts. That's typically why people purchase term insurance. But regardless of your reason for purchasing term or permanent, you should be aware that with a term policy, you don't have to wait till it expires to convert. You can always call your insurance carrier or shop around to see what other options are available. So converting is one of the main ways that you can switch over to permanent within an existing term policy. And you don't typically have to go through medical underwriting. So that would be a benefit because you're older and you may now have some health concerns where when you were younger and took out the term policy, that wasn't the case. So if you still need the insurance, conversion is a good opportunity for you with the understanding that the premium is going to be higher because you're older. If you have children or other obligations that are still there at the end of the term, that's another reason to consider converting. Or you could pick up or extend the existing term coverage. So if you pick up a new policy, you want to shop around for the term at your newly attained age to see what those premiums are and extend it for the period of coverage that you need, be it 5, 10, 15 years. The other thing with a permanent policy is it builds cash value. So oftentimes people will use that as another savings vehicle or retirement savings vehicle. And also you can borrow from the cash value. So you don't have that with term insurance. Term is strictly for the death benefit. It's strictly for protection. And the idea that if something were to happen to you, you would provide this lump sum to your beneficiaries. Permanent is a little bit different. It's more expensive. It's more of an investment. It builds cash over time, and you can borrow from it later. So you have more flexibility with a permanent policy than you do with term insurance. So, whatever your needs are, you may want to consider talking to a financial professional to help you decide what makes the most sense and what kind of fits into your budget the best. It also depends on your cash flow. So, what can you afford? And also, what other types of investments do you have or other assets that could be drawn on in the event of your passing? So, those are also considerations. We can help you with any of those questions. We can take a look at your existing policies. We have the ability to shop different carriers for you. So, if you have a policy expiring or you're interested in discussing more about your options, feel free to reach out to us. And you can find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and also our website, which is braun-bostich.com. Thanks for listening.